Hey folks, how you doing today? Just wanted to get on and talk about how, you know, a lot of relationships are being ruined by this, and I think we're not talking about it enough in the right ways, because, there's a lot of absolutism going on. It's like, it's all bad and it all has to be, torn down and it's evil and it's this, it's that, it's the other, and it's like, no, it's a natural, I think, human uh, characteristic to be curious and to want to see other people's bodies and to see other people doing, certain acts and whatnot. I think that's just a natural thing that a lot of people who are, visually or auditorily stimulated are drawn to. And I think that, that curiosity and that need will probably always exists because it always has. However, what's different now is the mode in which people are exposed to these things, and how often and how much, and what it does to one's brain chemistry to be consuming these things in this way, right? So we need to talk about what that's really doing to people and how it's affecting people. But on a deeper level, it's teaching people that this is what pleasure between two consenting adults looks like, and it's not always representing the truth, right? So it's not always representing pleasurable acts that are enjoyed by both people or all of the people that are engaged in them. So that's creating some really unfortunate and unhealthy beliefs around what intimacy looks like. It's causing people to not be able to perform in ways that could be really, really pleasurable for all parties involved. And it's really stunting people's ability to engage with the erotic in, broader ways and more enjoyable, energetically connective, and all of that. So I think that it's important that we talk about these things in real ways, not just to say like it's all bad or just throw it all out, because that's not really that's not going to happen, right? It will always exist, and people will always find a way to engage with it. So we need to find better ways to talk about it and talk about the fact that, there needs to be an ethical source for these things, and there is. There needs to be some oversight into those ethical productions and whatnot. And we need to try to get this out of the hands of young people who's being affected most negatively out of all of the demographics. So it needs to be a multi-pronged approach, but I think we need to talk about all of the positive people, or all the positive sources out there, resources out there for people to engage with, to help them in their self-discovery. And so Dr. Emily Morse is a really great resource that I often talk about. She has a great podcast. Her book, Smart Sex, is really great. Go check it out. Jaya is another really awesome resource. She's got a couple books that I can think of offhand. Red Hot Touch and Your Blueprint for Pleasure. Those are two awesome books to check out. And she's online as well, so go check her out. Find her there. Susan Breton. I saw her on Diary of a CEO, one of the episodes that they did. So go check that out and check her out. So yeah, that's a few that I can think of off the top of my head who are sort of like, out there and talking about these things in ways that can connect with people of today's generations and world, because they'll talk about things like polyamory and things like that, and open relationships and whatnot. So, and I think they're very inclusive in the languaging that they use to talk about different body parts and stuff like that. So I think it could be really helpful. So I really encourage you to educate yourselves, and then get these things into the hands of young adults, right? Let's hit, the 20-year-olds with some real truths about pleasure and consent and all of the amazing things that they can enjoy, but while doing it safely and doing it with everyone's pleasure in mind. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day. If you're in a relationship where you're struggling to connect with your partner and maybe your intimacy isn't great, please feel free to reach out. I'll share some more resources with you. You can private message me. Those are just ones that I thought of off the top of my head. But I can go through my library and see what else could be helpful if this is something you're struggling with. So feel free to reach out, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Namaste.